Hi guys, it's Liliana from Vanillandcanela here, and last week on a vlog I asked you if you had any questions for me and that I would answer them for you today. So I'm gonna answer all your questions right now. So I've got my laptop next to me, and the first question is from Rhonda. If you do stuff, stuff gets done. I love that name. And she says, my question is about the device you use to mix your cake and bread. I'm guessing it measures and mixes and kneads all in one as you punch in the commands. I'm American and we have lots of devices, but nothing like this. Yes, so my gadget, my kitchen gadget is called a Thermomix. It's huge in Australia, Portugal, where I'm from, and it's just starting to take off in England. I have a feeling they're about to start doing sales of it in the US as well. I used to be a Thermomix advisor, which meant I used to go to people's houses that when they were interested in purchasing one, and I would do demos for them. So, but it basically, it does everything. It cooks, it steams, it kneads, it mixes. So you can make stuff, smoothies, bread dough. You can actually cook a stew in it. I mean, that's just a little bit. It has integrated scales as well, so you can measure everything. But the newer Thermomix, there's different models, came out a couple of years ago, and it has recipes already in it. You attach this little magnetic thing to the side and it works. If you guys would like me to do a full-on demo for you, let me know in the comments below and I will do it and I'll show you how it works. I am not sponsored. I've never been sponsored. Thermomix does not sponsor anyone ever. So I would just do it for you guys to see. So I hope that answers your question. Next question is from Sylvie Vargas. And she says, my questions, where do you live? In London? No, I do not live in London. I live at the moment in the Bedfordshire county, which is by train is about an hour from London. Was it difficult for you to move to another country? No. Ish. I moved on my own. She also asks, are you able to see your family frequently? Do you like traveling? So I'm going to try and answer everything. So I moved to the UK when I was 22 and I moved, I came over on a holiday. I had some contacts here from work, and this girl called Hannah, who was a work contact, actually had me over for a holiday. I went to look for a job and found a job very quickly. So I actually ended up living with Hannah for about a year and a half in total, I think it was. So Hannah, thank you so much for helping me. We're still friends. I don't see it as often as I would like, but yeah, it was thanks to Hannah that I had someone I knew, so I wasn't in a country full of strangers, and she made my move a lot easier. Are you able to see your family frequently? Not as much as I would like. Before we had Alex, I used to go maybe 3-4 times a year, fly back to Portugal. I used to work full time. So we had a lot more disposable income, so we used to fly out very often. Now we are actually going on holiday in May, but we haven't been for almost 2 years. So I do Skype with my family all the time, and I speak to my mum probably 3 or 4 times a week. So that's not too bad. Do you like travelling? I do. I've travelled quite extensively in Europe. I've never been outside Europe, so I would love to go to the States. It's always been one of the countries that I want to visit. I do enjoy it, but I love coming home. Do you guys get that? I am just a homebody. I'm not, no bed is as comfortable as mine. No pillows replace mine. And it's all fun and games, but I am more of a homebody kind of person. That has changed, you know. I used to, like I say, travel quite a lot when I was younger, but not so much these days. Okay, so next one is from Morel315. Hi. Morel always comments on my videos. Thank you. So Morel asks, how did you and your husband meet, and how long have you been together? She also asks, how long have you lived in the UK, and would you like to move back to Portugal at some point? And also, what made you decide to start a YouTube channel? So let's start. How did you and your husband meet, and how long have you been together? So I met Paul 3 weeks after moving to England. We basically worked for the same company, and that's how we met. So that was 18 years, almost 19 years ago. You'll be 19 years in October. And so we worked together, we were friends, and then we both left that particular job and kind of lost touch. And about 5 years, no, maybe 3-4 years later, we met up again. Paul saw a friend of mine whilst he was out, and he asked where I was, and she gave him my number. And by then he had joined the Air Force. As you guys know, he's in the military. And we met up in February 2003. And the next day he was leaving on tour or detachment, whatever you call it. And we stayed in touch and wrote to each other. He came back that May. We got together then. Yes, and we were married the following June. So we got together in 2003 and married in 2004. So we've been together for 13 years, 12 years of marriage. So it will be 14 years and 13 years of marriage sort of later on in the year. Hope that makes sense. How long have you lived in the UK? So almost, it'll be 19 years in September. Would you like to move back to Portugal at some point? Right, so as you guys know, we have a little boy called Alex, who's 3, and I have polycystic ovaries. So getting pregnant with Alex was a true miracle. We weren't expecting, you know, after years, we tried for 9 years before he came along. So what we did was we bought a house in Portugal, and our plans were to move back once Paul came out of the Air Force. He's in for 22 years, so we've got 7 years left. Now, we were just going to move out there and kind of do some nice, easy jobs, you know, maybe part-time, plus his pension, and just live in Portugal. The house we've bought is in my hometown, which is Santo Tirso, which is close to Porto. If you don't know, it's where the port wine comes from. So anyway, so that was our plan. And then we had Alex. So things have changed a lot. So when Paul hits the 22 mark and he's due to come out, Alex will be 10. And we want him to go to school in England. So we are not moving to Portugal as quick as we thought. And then potentially once he's 18 and he's decided what he wants to do, if he wants to go to uni or work, maybe we'll move then. But so there is a plan to move there, but now that we have a child, and I don't know if I'll be able to be that far away from him, you know. I'm kind of a mother hen and I like him close by. So we haven't decided, but we have a house there, so maybe. Okay. The other question was, what made you decide to start a YouTube channel? So for years, as you guys might know, if you watch my channel all the time, I live in what we call married quarters, which are basically every time we move around, the Air Force or the military provides us with housing. And through the years, what I did notice is that no one really makes an effort with the housing. They kind of dump their furniture in, and because they're not in it very long and they they don't, it's not their house. People don't tend to do a lot of stuff with their houses. And I always got loads of lovely comments from everyone that came into my house, and people used to ask me for tips. And you know, so basically, like for example, right, I hang a lot of stuff on my walls and I use command strips. Now, command strips are now like mainstream, but years and years ago, we discovered them and we started putting everything up. Now, every time you move, you have to leave the walls with no marks on them. So command strips are ideal. You take them out, they don't leave any damage. So I wanted to share, because people had never heard of it, so I wanted to share those tips. And I've always dreamed of having a website to share home decor tips, that kind of stuff. Okay, so early last year, January, I had an operation to my foot and I couldn't do anything. And I came across Alejandra TV's a video of hers, and that sort of took me to YouTube, and I started binge watching YouTube. You know, I discovered people like Do It on a Dime and My So-Called Home, Nikki at Home, all those kind of people that you guys probably know. And I just fell in love with it, and I thought, oh, maybe this is a way I could share what I like doing. So that's why I decided to start it. I was so nervous, and my friends that watch my channel say they can see a difference from when I started to now. So my first video went live in March last year, and I've seen a massive improvement on my thumbnail techniques and all that kind of stuff. So it's been a real challenge for me to do it, you know, because you're putting yourself out there ready to be criticized by other people. But I've enjoyed it so much. I would love to make this my income, you know, but it's really, really hard to do that. So in September, when Alex goes to school, I might go back to work, which might impact how much or how little I do on YouTube, but I definitely will still carry on, but slightly less. That was a very long-winded reply. I hope that explains it. Okay, so that's it for Morel. Thank you, Morel. I hope I'm saying your name right. Okay, so Jeanette A says, I remember you mentioning in the past that you may be moving to the States. What do you think you would enjoy about living here? So, yes, because we're in the military, we get postings mainly in the UK, but there are some abroad postings. And I've always wanted to visit the States and experience living in the States. Now, this would be for us an ideal way to do it, because we would have the job security, you know, that it's not like we have to look for a job and all that kind of stuff. So we decided against it because financially it would have a massive impact on us, and I don't work, so I would hate to do this and then get into debt because of it. So, but the things I would enjoy about living in the States, visiting all over. So we would be posted to Virginia, but I would love to visit California, would love that. I would love to definitely go to New York and experience all the different foods, because I watch a lot of YouTubers. I see loads of different stuff that you guys have over there that we don't over here. So I would love to try all the food, and I know that people are really friendly as well. So it's just experience the whole living, shopping, go in different places. Does that sound okay? But the main thing would be to get a chance to visit the States, you know, because if we went, we wouldn't come home to England. So when Paul took his holiday, we would take the chance to visit different places in America just being immersed in your culture would be great. So next, thank you for your questions. Next is Adele Trotter. I think you said that your partner is in the military, so you must move around. Where is your favourite place that you have lived in? And what are your favourite YouTube channels to watch? Yes, so we move on average, every 3 years. Sometimes we've moved before after 2 years, and we've stayed somewhere for years, but it averages 3 years. So our favourite, we've lived mainly in England. We had a posting to Northern Ireland we were there for 3 years, and that's where we had Alex. So Northern Ireland has a huge sentimental thing for us, you know. But my favourite posting was definitely one that we had in Cambridgeshire. We were there for 4 years, our longer posting, and we would love to go back. What are your favourite YouTube channels to watch? So I mentioned some of them already. I love My So-Called Home, Gentle Thrifty Mama. She's lovely. Erin is just lovely. And I like Crystal Tara. I also like My Great Challenge, Sophia. I like watching her. Her videos are like 25 minutes to half an hour long. And I love watching it. She just does loads of stuff at home. Her great challenge is keeping a tidy house, but she does loads of projects, and I really enjoy watching her. Who else? Oh, okay, so this is nothing to do with home or, you know, decor or anything like that. I love watching Fly with Stella. And Stella, I think her name is Christella. She's a hair hostess, and it's vlogs following her around. And when I first started watching her, I wasn't sure, but she is just like the sweetest, loveliest girl ever. So I love watching her. Who else? I'm trying to think, who else do I watch? So many people I follow. You guys can have a look on if you go to my channel, there's like, is it channels tab that you can look at who I subscribe to? Go and have a look. Loads of people. And I'm always looking for new ones. Right. So Wendy STG, I think the ST, does that stand for Saint? Where do you live? What does your husband do for work? So, like I said before, I live in Bedfordshire, and my husband is in the Royal Air Force. Can't go into specifics for security reasons. So, also Pamela M. Hi, Pamela. Pamela also comments on most of my videos, so hey. She says, how did you and Paul meet? And you guys already know that. How does the yellow bread box work? Is it electric? Does it keep bread longer? No, it's just a plastic. Pamela basically asked me about my bread bin or bread box before, but it's just a plastic container. It has got a little side opening to let air into the bread bin, and the top of it is actually a cutting board. So you take the top is wooden, you take it and flip it, and you can cut bread on it. I do love it, and it's by Bowden, by the way. So what else? Where do you keep the kitty litter box? I don't. We do have a cat litter box, but the cats go outside. They go in our garden, and then we clean it up. We have a litter box, so if we go away for a weekend, we will keep the cats inside the house, and we'll get a friend to come and feed them, and the litter box will be in then. So when it's not in use, it's washed, and we keep it out in the shed. Next time I need to use it, we might be going away in March to visit some friends, I'll show you guys. But sorry, so let me go back there. So when I do use it, we keep it in the downstairs loo. Okay. What is the big white box hanging in your kitchen by the clock? That is our boiler that provides the heating and hot water for our house. It's the first time we've had one of those. It's usually like this massive tank that's kept in the cupboard upstairs. But I love it. I absolutely love it. It provides hot water immediately, whilst the other ones we've had before, the tank gets full and that's hot water. But say if you had 5 people showering in the morning, the third person would have to wait for the water to heat up. With this boiler, it's just automatically. I didn't think I had that much to say about the boiler, but there you go. Your house always looks so nice. Thank you. What do you use for cleaning products? So most of my cleaning products are homemade. I have videos showing the recipe. So I'll put a link for you guys below. And whatever, sometimes I also buy Method. I love Method products. I use Method washing up liquid. It's so good. I used to get dermatitis in the back of my hands, and Method does not give me dermatitis, so I always use that. I also use the Method wood polish, you know, whenever I want to polish my woods downstairs, but the rest are homemade, and like I said, I'll put the link for you guys below. Have you ever worked, and what did you do? So yes, I have always worked full-time, and then I worked a little bit after having Alex part-time. So I've always worked in finance. I was a credit controller, so basically my job was to chase people to pay their bills. I never chased, it wasn't personal, so I wouldn't be chasing you directly. It was chasing other companies, okay? So I've always worked pretty much doing that, and then I went on maternity leave, and then when Alex was 1, I went back to the company and worked there for about 9 months, part-time, three days a week, and then we moved back to England, and I decided that I wanted to stay at home, and that's when I became an advisor for Thermomix. I did that for about a year, and then I stopped, mainly because they changed the way they do things, and it wasn't going to work for me and Alex. You know, he's my main priority. So yes, I know I have a lot of questions, just curious. That's absolutely fine. I'm loving the questions, so thank you. Is that everything? I think that's it. Someone else mentions my high-tech bread machine, but as you guys know, that's a Thermomix. So I am looking at the time, and it says that I've been going on for quite a long time now. So thank you so much for all your questions. I hope I've answered them all. If you have any more, let me know in the comments, and I will answer one-to-one questions. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe. If you are already a subscriber, turn the notifications on. So it's the little bell sign. So whenever I make a new video, you get a little message saying come and see. Please don't forget to press like, and thank you very much. Oh, and by the way, tomorrow I'm doing the 1 box challenge collab with Sweet and Simple Home. So tune in then. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Love you all. See you soon. Bye.